What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to talk about what happened with the CPI reports that just came out, break down how the numbers are looking, how this is affecting the market so far, and why we're seeing this big dip on SPY and the QQQ and a couple of other tickers. But before I break down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them, and the offer ends in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, for SPY, we're currently at 511 a share. We've broken below the 512 support, and SPY is dipping hard because CPI came out hotter than expected. So here are the numbers right here. CPI came out year over year at 3.5%. That is above expectations of 3.4%. That is a little bit hot. Month over month, CPI for all items was at 0.4%. That's above the 0.3% forecast and estimations. For core CPI year over year, we were at 3.8%. That is above the 3.7% expectations. Once again, that's a little bit hot. And then we have core CPI month over month at 0.4%, above the 0.3% expectations. So everything was a little bit harder than expected. It wasn't like a massive like amount that it was harder, but it was just a little bit harder from every single one of these metrics. And that is still not the best of news. And this does incentivize the Fed to be a bit more hawkish. This shows that the Fed is not done with this inflationary problem. They may have to keep rates higher for longer. And this is leading to more fear in the markets because of that. Later on, we have Bowman giving a speech, and then I just want to warn you all, we do have the FOMC minutes coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm going to talk more about that later on. We have a lot of time until then, but for now, this is my warning for everyone. Inflation is hot. The market is still coming down. SPY is still looking relatively weak because of this, and there's no sign the market's basing quite yet. This is what the chart looks like. So I'm not going to go over the specific numbers like right over here. This is like a lot to be going over. I just want to focus on the chart for now. So right here, look at January when CPI came out for all items, it went up going into February, going into March, it went up again. So there's this little uptick right over here as we're approaching the summer. And then for all items without food and energy for core CPI, this also went up a little bit. Not the best of news once again. And this rarely goes up. So that's actually not the best of signs. There's a sign that inflation is going up, prices are going up as we're approaching the summer period. Crude oil is going up, which is contributing to this. Not the best of news. This is why we have the Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ all dipping. Right now with this inflationary situation, it's very important and it's putting the Fed on the edge, so it's something worth noting. We have other pieces of news that came out that Intel unveiled their latest AI chip. This is trying to get a piece of the pie from the leader Nvidia, which has an estimated 80% of the market share so far. Boeing had its deliveries fall in the first quarter. The manufacturer handed over 83 planes in the first 3 months, ending in March 31st, compared to 157 in prior quarters. So a slight improvement, but still not the best of news. And Costco has also struck gold literally. The retailer sold 1 ounce bars made of nearly 24K gold since late summer, and they're making lots of good revenue off of that. So it's been very great for them. Just want to call that out. Good news for Costco. But besides that, guys, inflation still is a big issue. We're not out of the water with it just yet. So what's happening with SPY? What do I see for the chart? Honestly, guys, SPY is dipping as of right now. They kind of pumped it a bit in the pre-market to 521 because they're getting ready for this big dump. That's when they started shorting, and we're already down about 10 points since then. So we saw SPY dip 10 points, which is a pretty big move to the downside already. And the problem is there's no sign that it's done dropping yet. We have resistance at 512.5, 514, 515, and 516.5. We also have support that's being built right over here around 511.25. It's very minor, and we have stronger support at the 510.5 area. If we lose that, we could be sinking all the way down to 508, followed by 505. So that's how SPY is looking so far, looking a bit more in favor of the bears because there's no sign that it's basing or bouncing yet. Yes, the more we dip, the more support is going to try to hold it, but it's still looking more bearish overall, and there is a risk of this dipping a little bit more, getting closer to 510. So we'll have to see if this base is around there, wait for SPY to base, but just know that as of right now, the chart looks a bit more in favor of the bears. Now, the whole market is kind of making this very similar move. Tesla's getting dragged down too. Tesla has 173.19 as support, If you lose this, there's 172 flat, 170.5, then 167.8. For resistance, you have 173.8 followed by 175 and then 177.6. Overall, we have a bit of a dip coming to Tesla. It is looking a bit more bearish, and there is a risk of this dropping a little bit more thanks to SPY and the overall market, but Tesla's still holding up quite well. This is only a very, very small dip for Tesla. Tesla's showing more strength than the market. It's actually holding up a lot better. So this is not looking too bad to me, especially because of some good news involving Tesla potentially making announcements about India, as Musk is going to be meeting the Prime Minister of India soon. But right now, although Tesla's dipping, there is a risk of it dipping a little bit more. It's still holding up a lot better than the market, so it's just showing some strength, but just be prepared for all of that. For Nvidia, there's a risk of this coming all the way down to 834. If we lose this, 830 is coming next, and we could be falling all the way down to the 820s. As of right now, Nvidia is looking a bit more bearish, so get ready for more potential downside. The chart is bearish, and there is a risk of it falling all the way down to 830. For the QQQ, just like SPY, we got this nice little pop above this resistance at the 444 area. Then we dipped all the way down to about 435. We're just kind of shuffling at 436, but there is a risk of this dipping a bit more. We could be making our way all the way down to about 434. That's where we have this key support. If we lose that, 432 is coming next. Watch resistance at 437.5. That's going to be our key resistance, but just know the chart on the QQQ is still bearish. So be careful. There is a risk of more downside. Be very open-minded to all of that. What else is contributing to all of this? If we do kind of pop a bit, there's a risk of getting sold off again, especially when we open. Aapl has resistance at 169, but there is a risk of it dipping more towards 168. The chart got a big rejection off our 200 EMA on the hourly time frame, and this is showing some weakness, so I see some more potential for this thing to dip more. Now we're trying to hold this support right over here at 168.5, but I just want to warn everyone, when the market opens, there's still going to be a risk of this dipping more, so just be open-minded for that and just know that Aapl is still showing some weakness. For a few more out there, we have Supermicro tipping all the way down to about 863. This is kind of like what we predicted yesterday. I was talking about this thing tipping all the way down to the 200 EMA. We reached our targets, and we did come all the way down here at this support. So watch 860 is key support. We'll see if this holds or not. If we lose this, 850 is coming, and then 840. We have resistance at 880 followed by 900, but overall the chart is looking a bit more bearish. AMD, big dip to 166. Watch support. If we lose this, going to continue to dip from here. We have resistance at 171, but overall the chart looks a bit more bearish. Coinbase, let's just go over a couple more. Looking a little bit more bearish, barely at 236. That's the level we called out yesterday. If we lose that, our next target is going to be all the way down here towards. We could be seeing a dip all the way down to 230 if we lose that support. We have resistance at 242. As of right now, the chart's a little bearish. For, let's see, Amazon, looking a little bit weaker right here. Watch 182 as support. If we lose this, could be dipping to 180.5. We have resistance at 184. Overall, we are looking a bit more on the bearish side, so just be careful with Amazon. Meta is also looking a little bit more bearish. We have 508 as support. If we lose this, could be dipping all the way down to 505, and then we have resistance very close to about 5. This 510.8 area. Looking a little bit more bearish on Meta, so just be careful, and we'll see if this thing can base or not as we get closer to support. This is trying to hold the 50 EMA, so watch how it holds 508. If we lose it, 505 is coming, but it's showing some signs of life. Anyways, that is it for the video. I wanted to just kind of give you guys a quick update. SPY still showing weakness, even though it is at 513, could dip a little bit more. Be careful, guys. Please be open-minded, and we'll see how things go. All right, so thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys in just a couple of hours. Take care, and we'll see how things go from here. Thank you for listening again, and peace out.